History is rarely made by a single announcement, but this may be one of those times. Nvidia and OpenAI have agreed to a deal that could rewire our future. The number is almost difficult to comprehend: $100 billion. This is not just an investment. It is a declaration of intent. It is a bet on a future powered by artificial intelligence, a future that is arriving faster than almost anyone predicted. The scale is staggering. The implications are profound. This single deal could define the next era of technology. The agreement itself is straightforward, yet its architecture is revealing. Nvidia will invest up to $100 billion in OpenAI. But this is not a simple transfer of cash. It is a staged commitment, a progressive infusion of capital hardware. The funds will be deployed as physical infrastructure comes online, gigawatt by gigawatt. This structure tells a crucial story. It shows that the scarcest resource in the race for AI is no longer just brilliant ideas, clever code. The scarcest commodity is now compute power. Raw compute, physical compute, energy-intensive compute. This partnership was not born in a quiet boardroom over many months. It was forged in the crucible of urgency. Sources describe a series of hurried negotiations, late-night phone calls, and last-minute contract revisions. The deal was finalized under the pressure of a looming deadline during President Trump's diplomatic trip to the United Kingdom. This frantic pace underscores the immense stakes involved. In the world of AI, speed is everything. Waiting is not an option when the technological frontier is moving at a breakneck pace. The two companies knew they had to act decisively. The result is what Nvidia's own CEO, Jensen Huang, described as monumental in size. This is more than a business transaction. It represents a watershed moment for the entire technology industry. Capital influence, building blocks of the future. The power is concentrating in the hands of the two companies standing at the epicenter of the artificial intelligence boom. One company designs the brains, the other teaches them how to think. Together, their partnership sets a new course for the world. So, what exactly will this $100 billion build? It will construct the largest and most powerful AI factories the world has ever seen. The core of the deal is a plan to deploy at least 10 gigawatts of data center capacity for OpenAI. 10 gigawatts. To put that number in perspective, 1 gigawatt of data center capacity costs between $50 and $60 billion to build today. This is an infrastructure project on a national, even global scale. It is the modern equivalent of building the Hoover Dam or the interstate highway system. The first phase of this massive undertaking is scheduled to begin soon. The first gigawatt of new systems will be deployed in the second half of 2026. These systems will be built upon Nvidia's next-generation platform, codenamed Vera Rubin. This platform is the engine designed to train and run the AI models of tomorrow, models that promise to be exponentially more powerful than what we have today. OpenAI will work hand-in-glove with Nvidia, co-optimizing their software and hardware roadmaps to unlock new capabilities on the path towards superintelligence. The sheer quantity of hardware involved is difficult to grasp. 10 gigawatts translates to between 4 and 5 million advanced GPUs. Those are the specialized chips, the graphics processing units, that perform the heavy lifting of AI calculations. According to Nvidia's CEO, that figure is roughly equal to the total number of GPUs the company will ship in all of 2025. It is, in his words, twice as much as last year. OpenAI is effectively securing a pipeline to a colossal amount of future AI compute power. This staged investment ensures that money follows tangible progress. The funds, a mix of cash and equity, are unlocked as each gigawatt is deployed. The capital arrives when the concrete is poured, when the server racks are installed, when the GPUs are powered on. This sends a clear and urgent message to the rest of the industry. The game has changed. The next phase of AI is not about dazzling demos or clever chatbots. It is about who can command the most power, who can light up the most gigawatts. The financial markets reacted with immediate and stunning force. Upon the announcement, shares in Nvidia surged more than 3%. That single-day jump added approximately $200 billion to its market value. Nvidia's valuation grew toward a breathtaking $4.5 trillion. This stock rally was more than just a vote of confidence. It signaled the market acknowledging a shift in the global economy's center of gravity. The deal cements the two companies as undisputed leaders in the race to build transformative AI. Nvidia already commands the lion's share of the hardware market that powers AI. OpenAI has captured the public imagination. ChatGPT is a prime example. Together, they form a feedback loop of innovation and influence. Nvidia gets a guaranteed massive customer for its most advanced chips. OpenAI secures massive computational resources to push boundaries, but this concentration of power raises serious, immediate questions. Legal experts and policymakers are sounding the alarm on antitrust concerns. They worry this deal could create a severe market imbalance. If one company gets preferential access to the world's most critical chips, what happens to everyone else? Nvidia's investment could incentivize prioritizing OpenAI over other customers. Large cloud providers, innovative startups, the pressure on competitors is now immense. AMD, Intel, smaller AI-focused startups, they're now competing not just on tech, but against a strategic alliance backed by unprecedented capital and supply commitments. The deal signals a transformative moment for the semiconductor industry. It could accelerate an arms race for compute and potentially stifle the very innovation the boom was meant to foster. While the potential benefits of this partnership are immense, the risks and hidden costs are just as significant. The most immediate concern is energy. Building and operating 10 gigawatts of data centers is an environmental challenge of the first order. These facilities are incredibly power-hungry. They require a constant and massive supply of electricity, not just to run the millions of GPUs, but also to cool them. This raises urgent questions about sustainability and the carbon footprint of the AI revolution. Cities will have to grapple with how to supply this new, voracious demand for power. States will have to grapple with how to supply this new, voracious demand for power. Even entire countries will have to grapple with how to supply this new, voracious demand for power. Can our existing grids handle the load? Will this demand for electricity come at the expense of residential customers? Will it come at the expense of other industries? Companies must develop credible plans for sourcing renewable energy and mitigating their environmental impact. Without careful planning and transparent reporting, the race for AI supremacy could come at a steep price for our planet, a cost we cannot afford to ignore. Beyond the environmental impact, there are profound social consequences to consider. The rapid advancement of AI, accelerated by this deal, will inevitably reshape the labor market. Some jobs will be automated and disappear. Many other jobs will be fundamentally transformed, requiring new skills and adaptation. We must ask ourselves if we are prepared for this transition. Are our education systems ready to train the workforce of tomorrow? What safety nets will be in place for those whose livelihoods are disrupted by this technological wave? Then there is the question of access and equity. If the most powerful AI models are developed and controlled by a small handful of tightly integrated companies, who will truly benefit? There is a real danger that this consolidation could widen the gap between the technological haves and have-nots. Small businesses may find themselves locked out, unable to access the state-of-the-art tools needed to innovate and compete. Researchers at universities may find themselves locked out, unable to access the state-of-the-art tools needed to innovate and compete. Developers in emerging economies may find themselves locked out, unable to access the state-of-the-art tools needed to innovate and compete. This could lead to a future where the benefits of AI are not shared broadly, but are instead captured by a select few. We must also confront the issue of safety. As these AI systems become exponentially more powerful, the potential for unforeseen risks grows in tandem. Companies have said they will work together on safety, co-designing hardware and software to build more robust and controllable systems. This is a necessary and welcome step, but many experts argue that corporate self-regulation is not enough. The stakes are simply too high for us to rely on promises alone. Independent oversight is critical. Governments must engage deeply, and international bodies must engage deeply. They must develop new frameworks and regulations. Public transparency and rigorous third-party auditing will be essential. The quest for superintelligence cannot be a race without rules. We as a society must have a voice in shaping the safeguards that will govern our collective future. This is a conversation that must include everyone. This $100 billion deal is, in the end, a turning point. There is no going back. It promises to dramatically accelerate the pace of AI development, potentially unlocking breakthroughs in medicine, climate science, and countless other fields that could benefit all of humanity. But it also concentrates immense power, strains our energy resources, and raises fundamental questions about competition, fairness, and safety. The deal makes one thing perfectly clear. The abstract notion of AI is now a physical reality, measured in gigawatts and steel. The future is not set. This partnership is a monumental bet, but the outcome is not predetermined. It has the potential to help us build a better world, but only if we proceed with caution and with wisdom. We must remain vigilant. We must demand accountability and advocate for rules that ensure fair access and public safety. This is a moment that calls for both boldness and humility. The choices we make in the coming years, as citizens, as policymakers, as leaders, will determine what this historic investment truly means for all of us.